Hello everyone, welcome to GXP Matters. Today I will talk about ICH Q12 product lifecycle management, particularly focusing on post-approval change management protocol. In this video, I will talk about what is post-approval change management protocol, the information about the protocol, the application process, the constituents of the protocol, modification, and the types. Before we move on, please subscribe the channel. PACMP Post-Approval Change Management Protocol. It is a regulatory tool to communicate change protocol during product lifecycle management between the marketing authorization holder and the regulatory authority. It contains the detailed information related to the proposed change that includes the various elements. These elements can be the preparation, verification, impact assessment, justification, and reporting category. The protocol may be submitted with the original marketing authorization or a standalone submission, and it can be the proposed independent of any prior identification of established condition. Please check my video on established condition. The link is in the description. The protocol requires approval by the regulatory authority, and the condition and the acceptance criteria outlined in the protocol must be met. The result should communicate to the regulatory authority as per the agreement in order to implement the proposed change. The protocol should contain the description of intended CMC change in commercial phase of the product life cycle. It should contain information about change to comply with the regional regulation and the guidance. Define the specific condition and the acceptance criteria. It should contain single or multiple change for single product that's required to be specified in the protocol. It may contain the single or multiple changes applied to multiple product. This information needs to be specified in the protocol. Information protocol should contain. Describe the level of details that support the each and every aspect of the change. The approved change should be valid to the original scope of the change control prior to implement. The initial risk assessment must be reviewed prior to implementation if any new information becomes available. Marketing authorization holder to ensure that the outcome of the updated risk assessment meets the scope of the original change protocol. If outcome of the updated risk assessment indicates an increased level of risk to the original change protocol, then the previously approved reporting category becomes invalid. Marketing authorization holder to follow regional regulation and guidance. If necessary, consult the regulatory authority. The marketing authorization holder is responsible for ensuring the facility meets the regulatory requirements with respect to the good manufacturing practice compliance and inspection or licensing status of the change. Application process. The protocol application process normally in two steps. Step 1. It describes the description of the proposed change, rationale for the change, risk management activity, proposed study, acceptance criteria, reporting category, other product specific information, and approval by regulatory authority. In step 2, perform tests and studies as outlined in protocol. Submit data and results that meets the acceptance criteria according to the change category. Requirement of the regulatory authority approval depends on the reporting category. The change cannot be implemented if the acceptance criteria and conditions are not met as outlined in the protocol. Any significant changes outside of the step 1 and step 2 criteria follows the regulatory submission as governed by regional regulation and regional guidance. For an example, significant change in the manufacturing process and process control, like change of order of unit operation, setting up a new manufacturing line. Any minor unanticipated modification not affecting the technical principle of the protocol of the process or controls are considered within the scope with appropriate justification. No change outlined in the protocol should introduce any additional risk to the patient safety, product quality, and efficacy. If any changes require supportive efficacy safety data or human pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics data to evaluate the effect of the change, this is not suitable for the inclusion in the protocol. This type of evaluation and data required to submit by their separate guidance. Protocol constituents. A detailed description of the proposed change, including a rationale, present and proposed change in a tabular format to highlight the changes. Risk assessment that includes a list of specific tests, studies to evaluate the potential impact of the proposed change. For an example, characterization, batch release, stability, in-process control, acceptance criteria for any analytical test that needs to be included. Detailed description of suitability of the approved control strategy. Description and the rationale for update to the control strategy associated with the proposed plan change. Any product or change specific requirement to be made prior to implementation of proposed changes, such as process qualification, extractable leachable studies, method validation. Provide supportive data from prior knowledge and experience about the same or similar product changes. For an example, this data or prior knowledge can be from development, manufacturing, characterization, batch release, and stability to allow for the risk mitigation for the proposed change. Proposed reporting category for step 2 of the protocol. Specify any post-marketing commitment that required ongoing verification controlled by site pharmaceutical quality management system to evaluate the impact of the change and adverse effect on the product quality. In this case, a summary of the quality risk management activity should be provided to support the proposed protocol. If multiple changes are to be implemented, this activity should address the potential risk from the cumulative effect of multiple changes and interlinked of these changes. Any modification to the protocol in terms of revision or replacement to an approved protocol for any test, study, acceptance criteria requires same level of assessment to evaluate the impact of change on the product quality and safety. Regulatory body to be notified for any minor update. Significant update may require prior approval or new protocol submission to the regulatory authority. Protocol types. One or more changes associated with a single product. Repeatedly used to make a specified type of CMC change over the life cycle of a product. Justify how multiple changes related and accommodate in a single protocol for a particular product. The broader protocols. The risk of the proposed change should be similar across the product. For an example, one or more changes to be implemented across multiple products, like change in stopper across multiple products that use the same container closure system. The another example is one or more changes to be implemented across multiple products at multiple sites, like change in analytical method across multiple sites, change in manufacturing site across multiple products. So there are two variations, sites and products. The same risk mitigation strategies should be applicable across all impacted products and or sites. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe the channel.